Okay, so welcome to my YouTube page. The first thing we're going to be talking about here is hiring your first employee. So before we can get into anything, congratulations, because your company growing enough that you're ready to invite someone else in is a wonderful step, and it's very exciting. And I think basking in that gratitude for this new adventure with another person is the first thing to really take note of. So once you're all filled with gratitude, let's go through our two approaches, our internal work and our external work. Beginning with the internal work, there's a lot of questions that you want to ask yourself when inviting another person into your space. Adding a person, even when it's a perfect addition, changes the energy of the company, changes the work culture, and you want to be sure that you're adding an energy that creates more balance in your work rather than imbalance. So sometimes people make the mistake of hiring themselves because the person is more likable and they see kind of common similarities and think that that means that you'll work well together. But when you want to create a business, look at the business like a full person, and you want to fill in those traits that are missing, because when you're sitting at a round table, if everybody's the same person, there's going to be no creative ideas, there's going to be no boundary pushing, because everybody's going to agree with one another. And you need that healthy amount of conflict, or that healthy amount of opposite kind of back and forth to push an idea and push yourselves to move forward. So take inventory of where are you really coming up short, and what part of yourself do you need to see in another person to make a whole self within your business. A second thing to look at is you can hire somebody because they have the skills to do exactly what you need to do, or you can hire someone because they would fit into like the work culture really well. And so, for example, if you're hiring a graphic designer, you can look at, oh, your work is along with our brand, or I really like your aesthetic, check mark. Or you can look at someone and say, this person is someone who learns fast. This person hasn't really been given a chance, they're kind of underqualified, but they have that drive, and I have seen them put that into work and it's been proven to me. They are teachable, and that person is who I tend to think is the better hire, because if you can teach them the skills, or if they already have the base skills but you can kind of fine-tune them to really work best for your organization, that group of person really adds more to your community at work than just the tactical skill. So maybe this person is a really qualified graphic designer. This person has the graphic design skills, like you don't need to teach them something they learned at school, but has never worked for a larger firm, or does something more simplistic, but you need them to kind of blow into like branding. If you can dedicate the time and energy to fine-tune that person will add to your roundtable discussions maybe a new idea. They'll be very dedicated as you're growing, and there is this kind of relationship that you're having, saying, I trust you to grow in this organization, and you're trusting them to grow within the organization as well, so you can both move up and move forward. So the next thing is more of the tactical. So there's a lot of logistics that we have to go through when we're hiring a new employee. The necessary forms, obvious, you can find them on .gov sites. And then really deciding, looking at your budget, can I afford a full-time person, or could they be part-time? Could they be a 1099 contracted employee? What exactly do I need them to do? And let me put it into a job description that's very clear. And clear, this is a little note from Brene Brown to me, to you. Clear is kind, unclear is unkind. So when developing something like a job description and talking to somebody about joining your team, expectations, sharing them appropriately and being clear about them is so crucial, because once you're in a workflow flow, it's much harder to retroactively add a task, add an assignment, or it flex the job. You want to be very clear up front. This is what I need from a person. If it's you and I decide to hire you, that's fantastic. But if it's not you, it's not going to be beneficial for me or for you. And nobody wants to get into that situation. So create a very clear job description. Make sure you handle all of your necessary paperwork, and perhaps get some legal advice if you need to, if you're in an industry that needs something like a non-compete or a non-disclosure agreement. And then on the internal side, really take inventory of what personality, what traits are missing in my organization that I'd like this new person to come in and represent. So once again, congratulations on your new hire. And there you have it.